YouTube, what is up? AD here with US Squads. Hope you're enjoying your day. I'm going to have an instruction video today. I'm going to show you how to install a lighter connector to your Glock safe action pistol. And this is a easy trigger enhancement option for you to improve the trigger pull of your Glock safe action pistol. So there's, again, with anything, when you start doing mods to your firearms, you're going to have one group that says it doesn't help and the other groups that says it's awesome. So you're always going to, do your own research. It's a fairly inexpensive component. It's like $25 for this part. And I like them. I have all my Glocks that are in use have this trigger enhancement. There's basically a trigger connector installed. So there's going to be a few different brands. You can go Lone Wolf Distribution, Glockworks, Glockmeister. Ghost Inc. makes their own version, and what I'm installing is a Ghost Inc. trigger connector. And so here's the sales pitch here. Let me just open it up and give you a view of the sales pitch here. Basically, trigger dominance, improvement trigger for Glocks, Gen 1 through 4, perfect reliability, 3.5 pound drop-in trigger connector. So I think the factory trigger connector is like 5.5 pounds. I could be wrong, but that's what I have written on this piece of paper. Trigger connector, 5.5 pounds. So we're going to install this in like 3 minutes. This is an easy install if you follow my instructions. So here's what the part looks like. And this particular part has the website engraved there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because my camera just sucks. But it says ghostinc.com, and that's the part. So we're changing out Glock's factory part with this part, and this is a 3.5 pound versus a 5.5 pound. So step one, I know my Glock's safe based on the trigger position, but I am going to triple check to make sure there's no ammunition in this firearm. Then I'm going to field strip this. Hopefully you know how to do that at this point to get to the frame. I'm going to move kind of fast because I like to keep my videos short, but if I lose you, just rewind the video and watch it again and you'll be able to catch up. I promise you. So now that we have the lower part, the lower of the firearm, the polymer frame, this is where we're going to do our work. We're going to have two tools. A Glock punch tool. You don't have to have a Glock punch tool, but I have a punch tool. And a simple flathead screwdriver, just a little one, just a tiny screwdriver. As you can see, these are not big, full size. You can use whatever you want, but I'm just saying you don't need crazy tools to get this done. All right, once I get my punch tool, I'm going to see this pin here right on the back end of the frame, the back strap. I'm just going to push that out with my Glock tool or a punch tool, and there's this plastic pin. I'm going to put that to the side because you definitely need that for later. Then I'm going to take my punch tool, and right here in this little square cavity, I'm just going to use a little force to lever, give it some leverage and pop this trigger, the back end of the trigger up. And I'm not going to pull it all the way out. I don't need to. All right. Whoops. Once we do that, the trigger connector is right here. It's this bar right here. See that? This bar. And it's laid in just like with the L shape facing inward. And it's just in this plastic piece, and it just sits just like that. See if you can notice as I drop shiz on the floor. Alright, so it just sits in like that. So I want you to just visually see how this sits in here and notice that it's actually to the left of this bar and in between this other bar right there. So you want it to be in the same position. When you put it back together, this needs to be on the inside of this outer metal bar, and it has to be on the outside of this little piece right here. So see the position? Okay, you need just visualize that for a second. Now here's the trick to do this without getting too fancy. I'm basically going to grab with my thumb and index finger. I'm just going to grab this piece, see right here. I'm just going to twist it to the side. I'm just going to twist it like that. See that? When I do that, it exposes this connector bar. Once I have it exposed, I'm just going to I have a spring here. You don't want to get too forceful because there's a spring there. If you undo that spring, you're going to have to fix it. But once I have this pulled to the side and I have this connector bar exposed, I simply grab my flathead screwdriver and I just pry it in between this and the plastic piece, and I'm just going to do this little wiggle, and this thing's going to just come out. And see, it's connected into that little piece right there. So once I do that, I can use my fingers and pull this out. And here is the old connector. Put this to the side. I'm going to install the new one by just putting it in here. As you notice, with my thumb and index finger, I'm keeping it angled and in the same position. I'm just going to simply push this in and drop this into that slot, and it usually takes a second to find its way in there. Okay, or more than a second. Usually I don't have problems with this, except right now it's being a little punk. Alright, cool. It's getting in. Alright, now that that's pushed all the way in, flush for the most part, I'm just going to rotate this back so it's perfectly aligned. And okay, when I drop this back into the housing, it's going to make a little click noise. So I'm going to drop this back in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my finger, and when I hear this click, listen, that's a good click. That's what you want to hear. So that's it. Now the disc connector bar is installed, it's properly aligned, it's in between the metal piece sticking out and that little tongue and groove, so it's in the right position. I'm going to stick my little pin back in here so my firearm is not, trigger housing is not going to fall apart on me. So I'm putting the pin back in. Okay, just like so. It's now flush. Trigger's in. Trigger connector's in. So I'm going to put my slide back on and do a little function test. So then I'm going to do a safety check. I'm not going to pull on the middle of the trigger. I'm going to try to engage the trigger with the outside. It's fine. Good. So that's it. Simple. The connector's installed. I'm going to take my old connector, put it in this little baggie. That's where I keep my Glock 17 connectors, in this bag here. Spare parts are always good to have. And that's the installation. So thumbs up if this was if this video was helpful. I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe, and let me show you this. Check this out real quick. I know we're talking Glocks, but look at this Biohazard zombie lower I color filled. Pretty cool, huh? Looks sweet. So if you want to check out what this looked like before I color filled it, click on that link right here and you can just check out that video. It's a long video, it's like 22 minutes, but I show you from start to finish how to do these multiple colors and show you how I did. But this is pretty much the end result after I got some gun oil on it and cleaned up all the excess. But anyway, that's that. Thumbs up. You guys have a great day. Subscribe, and positive, helpful, useful, contributive comments below. You guys rock. Thank you.